Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Learning Turkish with Jamie. Today we're going to learn what the pronouns are in Turkish and their personal endings. Dersimize başlayalım. So let's start by looking at what pronouns are in English, and then we'll compare them with the Turkish. The pronouns in English are I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. Now let's look at the Turkish. We have ben, sen, o, biz, siz, and onlar. The first thing I want you to notice is that the he, she, it pronouns in English are all just one word in Turkish, o. So they don't differentiate between male and female. The other difference is that there's another you form in Turkish, siz. Siz is the plural and formal version of you. So we don't have this form in English anymore. But if you're addressing directly more than one person, you would use siz rather than sen. If you are speaking to somebody who has a higher status than you would use siz because it's also the formal, polite form. If you're speaking to someone you've just met, you would also use siz. So sen, to compare the two, is for singular. So if you're talking to just one person, you would use sen. Or if the person you're talking to you're familiar with them and you're more intimate with that person, you could use sen. Some examples in which you would use siz. If a child is speaking to an adult, they would use siz, but an adult would use sen. If a teacher is speaking to the student, they would be more likely to use sen, but the student would always use siz. If a person's talking to the president, you would of course use siz. And of course, don't forget it's plural meaning, and so if you're ever talking to more than one person directly, you would use siz. If you're in doubt, just err on the side of caution and use siz because it's more polite. So let's go through those pronouns once more. Ben means I. This is first person singular, ben. Sen means you. Singular you. O means he, she, it. Biz means we, so first person plural. Siz means you, but plural and formal, so that's second person plural. And onlar means they. All of these pronouns have personal endings that accompany them. So these personal endings would go on the end of nouns, verbs, adjectives, and they tell us who the subject of the sentence is, or the subject of that clause. So the personal ending that goes with the pronoun ben is normally the consonant M. It's preceded by a vowel, but that vowel will change depending on vowel harmony. The vowel harmony category that it takes is the four-way vowel harmony, I, U, Ü. So typically this would look like benim or ben yapıyorum. Notice the M consonant in there. That tells us that it's first person singular, I, ben. Sen. The ending that goes with sen is usually an N consonant preceded by a vowel, but sometimes it's SN. So this could look like senin, notice the N, or yapıyorsun, SN. Keep in mind that there's always going to be vowels in between those consonants, but because they change, I'm not telling you what those vowels are. They're, once again, four-way vowel harmony, I, U, Ü options. So the personal ending that typically accompanies sen is either an N or SN. What goes with O is normally it doesn't take any endings at all. There are some exceptions to that, like when it's possessive, but typically the most basic form of the word or the verb is third person singular O, he, she, it. Biz, so the ending that goes with we, biz, is normally an M and Z combination. Sometimes it's just a Z, and in the simple past form, it's actually a K. So that one has a bit of an exception there, but the normal indicators for biz are MZ and Z. Siz. The endings that typically go with siz are either an NZ or an SNZ. So this could sound like yapıyorsunuz. Notice the SNZ sound that tells us that the person is siz. Yapıyorsunuz or sizin. The next one is onlar. So onlar takes a lar or a ler ending. Just like o, it normally doesn't have any other changes to the verb or the noun other than that the fact that it's plural is indicated with lar or ler. So all of these personal endings can be added to verbs, nouns, or adjectives. You don't have to memorize them just yet. I'm introducing them so that you're familiar with their consonants because that's what tells us who the actor is. That's it for today, guys. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Hoşça kalın.